chérie, chérie, le beau Paris.
Hello and welcome to Paris Set Me Free mini photo tutorials. You can see a good quality version of the picture as the picture I'm going to discuss on the blog, parissetmefree.blogspot.com. Now here's a poser for you, Paris fans. Where do you think this picture was taken? The one you're looking at now. Well, I've got a couple of questions for you actually. One is, obviously it's a Statue of Liberty. But my question is, how many statues of liberty are there? And my second question, how many statues of liberty are there in Paris? And if you want a third question, it's, where are they? Okay, well, let me go through the photographs as I was taking them. Here's, obviously you can see probably what this is. I won't insult your intelligence. There's a brighter one, because one of the problems I had was shooting into the light. The camera's automatic metering said, way too much light, let's shut it down. So it gave me about 2 or 3 stops too little light. So I had to bump it up. Maybe I did my favorite button, the plus or minus button, up +2 or +3 even, something like that, to get detail back in there. And here's another shot that I took. Again, too much light, too dark. And finally, similar shot. And of course it's the Eiffel Tower and the Statue of Liberty. It really is a Statue of Liberty, you know, spiky crown, shiny flame. There's even something under her arm there, which I haven't noticed before, but then I'm not American, so, you know, don't whip me for insolence or anything. It looks a bit like a, I don't know, horn of cornucopia. Probably that's what it is, or some book. Don't they have books of justice under their arms, or Bibles or something like that? Anyway, back to my question. Where is this? Well, it's obviously next to the Eiffel Tower, and but I would be willing to bet a certain amount of free photography lessons that that you get this wrong, because as far as I know, let me just get you onto the final version so that you can enjoy it fully. As far as I know, there's one Statue of Liberty in the States, which was given to them by France. And this is where it gets interesting. There are actually, people are often surprised to know that there are statues of liberty in Paris, and there's not just one either. One of them is hidden away in the Jardin de Luxembourg, and it's actually quite difficult to find, but there it is. When you come across it, it's definitely the Statue of Liberty. There's another one by the Seine, which is very impressive to tell people about, because they often don't know, and you can, if you line yourself up properly, you can actually get a picture of the Seine Statue of Liberty with the Eiffel Tower in the background, which is what you're looking at, of course. Wrong. There are 3 Statues of Liberty in Paris, and maybe there's more, I don't know. I'm not talking about little keyring icons or anything like that. I'm talking about proper, more than life-size or about life-size Statues of Liberty. And this, I was surprised to find, is the 3rd one in Paris. Yes, indeed, folks. I was as surprised as you might be, and as delighted, because I love finding things like this. Now, if you look at this thing here, this line and this line and this, it probably gives it away. It's on a boat. There's a boat right slap bang opposite the Eiffel Tower. Okay, it's a few meters off to one side, on the Trocadero side, which has a lovely, absolutely perfect life-size, or maybe more than life-size, Statue of Liberty on it. There it is. So there's a little curiosity. You can ask your friends, how many Statues of Liberty are there in Paris? And if they say more than one, thinking they're very clever, in other words saying 2, you can say, haha, look at this picture here, there's 3. It's the lighting wasn't easy. The sun was going down. The sun was going down behind, over here, as it always does, funnily enough. So this side of the Eiffel Tower was in the last rays or bits of brightness from the sun over here. As you might guess, this was getting dangerously into shadow. Still a bit of light, maybe reflected light on the face, but it was very tricky. You see how dark it is there, so I did have to lighten the photograph a little bit, because I didn't want the photograph to look like it does here, or even here. Because after all, the detail, especially in the statue, is very important, and if you look, you can see the lines of cloth. The detail is there in the original photograph, so I wanted to keep it. So I chose that one and tried to increase it and bring back some of the actual real colours, which were getting lost. As the sun goes down, colour tends to get washed out of things. So that's what I had. In terms of composition, she's down there in the bottom right, which is nice. Lady Eiffel is dwarfing her, but she's holding a light up to her, so there's a kind of complicity there between the two ladies, the lady of New York and the lady of Paris. Excuse me. You can see the stars here, which is, if you're not sure what those are there for, they tend to decorate the Eiffel Tower with various things depending on what's currently happening. During this time, it's just finished actually, in 2008, the last 6 months of, France held the presidency of the European Union, and that was to celebrate this fact, and it's also lit in blue at night, which you'll see in other photographs of mine later. Just one final point. The lines of this, you can see here one of the horrors of digital photography. The lines holding the mast up have turned into these little sort of staircases of pixelization, and you just can't avoid it, especially at this low resolution. This photograph is 500 pixels maximum, which I put on the site so that, well, I think it's a good size, and also people can't steal it and make beautiful postcards out of it, because it'll reproduce horrendously if you try to do that. But this is one of the sad facts of digital photography. Lines at angles are a nightmare. Very, very quickly you can see the fact that it's a digital representation, not one on film. And well, what can you do about it? As you reduce it down to smaller and smaller sizes, smaller and smaller resolutions, this comes along, however high a resolution you took it at in the first place. The only thing really is to print it at a very high resolution, big, or small, and this won't happen because there's plenty of pixels to fill in those jagged edges. As it is, it's not the case. So, and especially as you sharpen these up, you have this problem as well. So it's just something you can't really get away with, and especially you've got this black line almost on white. So it's the worst of all scenarios. Obviously, I could have got rid of this. I could have said, okay, get rid of that, copy a bit of sky over that one, copy a bit of sky. It would be perfect and actually quite easy, even for a non-specialist, to get rid of this. You just copy a bit of this absolutely uniform grey sky over the line, down to there, a bit of fiddling around there, a bit of fiddling around there. You could even get rid of the mast in the same way quite easily. The only difficult part might be this. I didn't do it. For one thing, I try to avoid that sort of thing. I really try to take my pictures as I click and not afterwards. It's a guiding light for me. That's the way I learnt, and that's the way I intend to carry on. But I'm not adverse to a bit of modern technology. Having said that, she's on a boat, and I want you to guess that she's on a boat. You know, it's not the one that's a bit further down the Seine on one of the islands. No, she's on a boat. She's the pride of this boat owner, and let's show that it's a boat. And there's his mast with the things keeping it up. So that's it for this time. A curiosity of Paris. There are actually 3 statues of Liberty, to my knowledge, in Paris, and I look forward to somebody telling me that there's another one somewhere. Okay, thanks for visiting. See you again next time. Bye bye.
Depuis que je suis à Paris, le jour et la nuit, je suis gris. J'ai compris la douceur de vivre. Je suis fou de joie, je suis ivre. Depuis que je suis à Paris.